Have you ever added a warm pinch of clove to your tea or baked a holiday pie with that familiar, spicy aroma filling the kitchen? It seems harmless. In fact, most people believe cloves are one of the healthiest spices around, and in small amounts they can be. But what if that innocent spice is quietly working against the very medications keeping you alive? What if your evening cup of chai is the reason your blood won't clot or your blood sugar crashes without warning? That's not a scare tactic. It's a documented medical reality. Across emergency rooms in America, patients are arriving with symptoms doctors never expected from something as ordinary as a spice rack ingredient. One man nearly bled out from a minor kitchen cut after eating too many clove-seasoned dishes. Another collapsed from dangerously low blood sugar just days after switching to clove tea. The hidden danger lies in how cloves interact with your medications. Blood thinners, cholesterol drugs, diabetes meds, even your morning iron or calcium supplements. What you think is helping your health could be blocking life-saving drugs or doubling their strength to deadly levels. This video breaks the silence around a spice that millions use daily without realizing the risk. Backed by science and real hospital cases, you'll discover the 7 most dangerous clove combinations and exactly how to protect yourself starting today. We'll show you when it's safe to use cloves and when it could send you to the ER. You'll also learn simple rules to keep your medications working and your body safe. Because cloves may be small, but the damage they can cause is not. And what comes next may surprise you even more. Number 1. Cloves and blood thinners. Imagine this: you've had heart surgery, you're following your doctor's orders, you take your blood thinners every day. You feel safe. Then the holidays arrive. You enjoy your family's famous ham glazed with cloves. You sip a cozy spiced tea. Within days, your blood becomes dangerously thin. A tiny kitchen cut refuses to stop bleeding. You rush to the ER. What happened? Cloves happen. Cloves contain eugenol, a powerful natural compound that thins your blood even more. On its own, that might sound like a benefit. But when combined with medications like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, it can quickly turn life-saving therapy into a silent threat. The effect is not just additive, it's explosive. Studies show that cloves can increase bleeding risk by up to 400% when combined with blood thinners. And the danger is not always immediate. Eugenol stays in your bloodstream for up to 18 hours. That means cloves from dinner can still boost your morning medication the next day. This creates a stacking effect that builds over time. One published case report tells the story of a man recovering from a heart attack. He was stable on warfarin until family meals packed with clove-heavy dishes pushed his INR from 2.5 to 7.8. That's a critical level. He nearly died from a simple cut while slicing vegetables. His doctors were shocked. The cause: cloves in the glaze, cloves in the tea, cloves in the stuffing. Cloves may seem harmless in the kitchen, but when you're on blood thinners, even culinary amounts can cause internal bleeding, nosebleeds, or life-threatening hemorrhage. So what's the solution? If you take blood thinners, stick to tiny flavoring pinches only. Avoid clove supplements, oils, or teas entirely. Always tell your doctor if you use spices regularly. Natural does not mean safe, not when it comes to bleeding. But just knowing this isn't enough, because what comes next is even more dangerous. What if cloves are not just changing your blood, but changing how your liver handles every single medication you take? Number 2. Cloves and liver-metabolized medications. You already know cloves can dangerously thin your blood, but what if they're doing something even sneakier behind the scenes? What if cloves are secretly interfering with how your liver breaks down medications? This is not a theory. It's happening right now in people who use clove extracts or teas alongside prescription drugs. Inside your liver lives a powerful enzyme system called cytochrome P450. Think of it as the gatekeeper for more than 75% of all medications. It helps your body process everything from cholesterol drugs to antidepressants. But cloves contain eugenol, and eugenol disrupts that system. Research shows it can block critical enzymes like CYP3A4, CYP2D6, and CYP2C9. These are the same enzymes your body uses to safely clear out medications like statins, SSRIs, and blood pressure meds. Here's why it matters. When those enzymes are blocked, your medications don't get cleared. Instead, they build up in your blood. Even if you're taking the right dose, your body is acting like you overdosed, and the effects can be terrifying. One case at Johns Hopkins involved a man taking a statin and an anti-anxiety drug. After adding a daily clove supplement, his liver could no longer keep up. He suffered muscle damage and extreme fatigue. Blood tests showed his drug levels were far higher than expected. The common thread: clove extract in his morning smoothie. The scary part is that these effects are unpredictable. Some people react to small amounts, others seem fine for weeks then crash. You never know when your liver will tip out of balance. So what's the solution? If you take prescription medications that rely on the liver, avoid concentrated clove products. That means no supplements, no clove tea, and definitely no clove oil. If you enjoy cloves in cooking, use small amounts only and space them far from your medication times. But just knowing this isn't enough, because what comes next affects millions of Americans managing one of the most common chronic conditions. And cloves can throw their blood sugar into chaos. Number 3, cloves and diabetes medications. If you thought cloves only disrupt liver function, think again. For anyone managing blood sugar levels, cloves can turn into a dangerous wildcard. Millions of Americans rely on insulin or medications like metformin to stay balanced. But one unexpected addition to their daily routine could tip them into crisis. That addition is clove tea. Clove is one of the most potent natural blood sugar reducers ever studied. On the surface, that sounds like a good thing. Who wouldn't want better glucose control? But when you combine it with diabetes medications, the result can be frightening. A major study published in BMC Complementary Medicine showed that clove extract reduced post-meal blood sugar by over 27%. That's stronger than some pharmaceuticals. Cloves do this by blocking sugar absorption, suppressing liver glucose production, and pulling more sugar into your muscles. But here's where it turns risky. One man in his 60s began drinking 2 cups of clove tea daily while on insulin and metformin. Within a week, he started experiencing shaking hands confusion and cold sweats. Twice he collapsed from hypoglycemia and was rushed to the ER. The cause: not a medication error, just clove tea. Because cloves are natural, many people assume they're safe to mix with meds. But in diabetes, management consistency is everything. When you suddenly add a powerful glucose-lowering agent like clove, it disrupts that balance and makes carb counting unreliable. It can even lead to life-threatening crashes. So what should you do if you're on any kind of diabetes medication? Avoid clove supplements and teas altogether. Culinary use is okay in small amounts, but monitor your blood sugar closely. Any new spice, even a natural one, can act like a second drug in your system. But just knowing this isn't enough, because the next risk isn't just internal. It's what happens when cloves meet something millions of people enjoy socially, and the effects can hit your body within minutes. Number 4, cloves and alcohol. We just saw how cloves can dangerously lower blood sugar when combined with diabetes medications. But now imagine this. You're at a holiday party. Someone hands you a warm spiced wine or a clove-flavored cocktail. It smells amazing. You take a sip. Within minutes, your face turns red, your heart races, and your head spins. What just happened? It wasn't the alcohol alone. It was the cloves. Cloves contain a powerful compound called eugenol. We've already seen how it interacts with medications. But here's something few people realize. Eugenol also interferes with how your liver processes alcohol. Specifically, it blocks an enzyme called ALDH. That enzyme is responsible for breaking down acetaldehyde, the toxic byproduct of alcohol. When ALDH is blocked, acetaldehyde builds up fast, and that's what causes the symptoms we associate with alcohol intolerance: flushing, dizziness, nausea, rapid heartbeat, in some cases even chest pain or vomiting. In one study, clove extract increased acetaldehyde levels by over 50%. That means a single glass of clove-spiced mulled wine could hit your body like 2 or 3 drinks. And the effect is even worse for people who are already sensitive to alcohol or taking medications that affect liver enzymes. There's also a long-term risk. If you regularly mix cloves with alcohol, like in seasonal drinks, punches, or herbal liquors, it can raise oxidative stress and increase inflammation in your liver. That's especially dangerous for people with existing liver issues or those on hepatotoxic drugs. So what's the smart move? Avoid combining cloves with alcohol altogether. Skip the clove-spiced cocktails and mulled wines. If you do enjoy cloves, use them in food only and at a different time of day than when you drink. But just knowing this isn't enough because the next mistake doesn't just block your medications. It blocks something your body desperately needs when you're low on energy or recovering from illness. And most people have no idea it's happening. Number 5, cloves and iron-rich foods or supplements. You already know cloves can intensify the effects of alcohol and overload your liver. But what if cloves are also quietly robbing your body of something essential for energy and healing? This next danger affects people with anemia or low iron levels. And the worst part is, they often have no clue it's happening. Many seniors take iron supplements. Others try to eat more spinach beans or red meat to build their levels naturally. But here's the catch. If you consume cloves at the same time as your iron-rich foods or pills, your body might absorb almost none of it. The problem comes from a compound in cloves called tannins. These bitter plant chemicals give cloves their strong flavor, but they also bind to non-heme iron in your digestive tract and make it nearly impossible for your body to absorb. And non-heme iron is the type found in plant-based foods and most supplements. According to nutritional studies, tannins can reduce iron absorption by up to 90%. That means you could take your iron tablet with a clove-heavy tea and end up getting almost zero benefit. One woman in her 70s struggled with constant fatigue. Her doctor doubled her iron supplement. Still, her levels stayed low. The real culprit: she was drinking chai tea every morning, loaded with cloves, right alongside her breakfast and her iron pill. So what can you do instead? Keep it simple. If you take iron supplements or eat iron-rich meals, avoid cloves during the same time window. Space them out by at least 2 hours, and skip clove teas or desserts with your iron. Timing matters more than most people think. But just knowing this isn't enough because the next risk hides in something many people think helps their digestion. In reality, it could be doing the opposite. And cloves might be the reason your gut feels worse, not better. Number 6, cloves and high-fiber foods or digestive medications. You just learned how cloves can block iron absorption and sabotage your energy. But now let's flip the script. What if cloves are the reason your digestion feels worse after eating healthy foods? This next interaction surprises even nutrition experts, and it starts with something you've probably been told to eat more of. Fiber, beans, lentils, whole grains, broccoli. These are all amazing for your gut. They feed the friendly bacteria in your colon and help turn fiber into short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and support regularity. But here's the twist. Cloves can interfere with that entire process. Cloves are rich in eugenol, which acts as a natural antimicrobial. That's helpful if you have an infection. But when you eat cloves alongside fiber-rich meals, or take them with probiotics or digestive enzymes, eugenol can start killing off the good bacteria in your gut too. The result: more gas, more bloating, less nutrient absorption, and less benefit from all those healthy foods. One study found that clove extract reduced levels of beneficial gut bacteria within 30 minutes. Another showed it could blunt the effect of common probiotic strains used in supplements. That means you could be eating perfectly, but still feeling off. A man in his late 60s switched to a high-fiber diet with oats and vegetables. He also started adding clove tea to help with inflammation. But instead of feeling better, he felt worse. Constipation, gas, discomfort. His doctor found no major issues. But when he stopped the clove tea, his digestion returned to normal. So what's the right move? If you eat high-fiber meals or take digestive products, avoid concentrated clove sources like teas or supplements. Stick with tiny amounts in cooking and space them several hours away from fiber-heavy meals or gut support pills. But just knowing this isn't enough because the final interaction may be the most surprising of all. It's not about digestion or medication. It's about your bones and how cloves could quietly interfere with one of your most important minerals. Number 7, cloves and calcium-rich foods or supplements. After everything we've covered so far, it's hard to imagine one last risk that's even more unexpected. But it's real, and it affects your bones. You might be drinking milk or taking calcium supplements every day to support bone strength. But if you're also using cloves in your routine, you could be blocking the very nutrients your body needs to stay strong. This interaction doesn't show up right away. There's no immediate discomfort. But over time, it may quietly reduce calcium absorption and impair how your body uses that calcium to build bone. Cloves are loaded with polyphenols and tannins. These compounds can bind to minerals in your gut and change how efficiently they're absorbed. But it doesn't stop there. Cloves also impact your gut microbiome and enzyme activity. That matters because your bones rely on healthy digestion and gut bacteria to process minerals properly. Studies in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that certain polyphenols can reduce the bioavailability of calcium even when your blood tests look normal. That means your supplement might be fine on paper, but your bones aren't actually benefiting the way you expect. One woman in her 60s took her calcium pills with a chai latte every morning. It felt like a smart wellness routine, but her DEXA scan showed slow bone loss despite consistent supplementation. Her doctor eventually discovered the chai latte was brewed with cloves and taken at the same time as her calcium. That single habit was likely disrupting her calcium metabolism for months. So what should you do? Keep your calcium sources and your clove use separated by at least 2 hours. Avoid concentrated clove drinks or desserts around the same time you take bone support supplements or dairy. And if you're at risk for osteoporosis, use cloves in moderation and never alongside calcium. But just knowing this isn't enough because now comes the part that matters most. How do you use this information to stay safe without giving up the foods and habits you love? So what have we learned today? Cloves may be small, but their power is real. When combined with the wrong foods or medications, they can block iron, confuse your blood sugar, interfere with your digestion, and even weaken your bones over time. For some, a simple habit like clove tea or spiced desserts has already led to ER visits, failed supplements, or unpredictable drug reactions. But here's the good news. You are not powerless. The solutions are simple. Use cloves as a gentle seasoning if you love their flavor. Avoid concentrated forms like teas, supplements, and oils, especially if you take blood thinners, diabetes medications, or rely on calcium or iron. Space out your intake, talk with your doctor, and most importantly, listen to your body. You do not need to give up the things you enjoy. You just need to enjoy them wisely. And that's exactly why this channel exists. At Evergreen Health, we believe that with the right knowledge, you can protect yourself and the people you love. You can keep your heart stronger, your energy higher, and your body safer using nothing more than everyday foods handled the right way. So here's what you should do next. Save this video, share it with someone you care about who might be taking medications, and make sure to subscribe right now because our next video reveals the 4 worst healthy teas for seniors and the 3 herbal teas that actually support your brain and bones. You deserve to feel informed, empowered, and in control of your health. The smallest change in your daily habits could be the one that saves your life. So stay curious, stay careful, and as always, we'll be here to guide you every step of the way. If this helped you in any way, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to tap that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another health tip that could truly make a difference.